Hey, everybody, you know what time it is? It's the same time every week. It is time for Syntax Live. How is everybody doing? I hope you're doing well, and I hope you had a good long weekend. Hopefully, you actually got some time off so you could actually relax and enjoy things at least as good as you can, given the fact that it's not officially a holiday, even though they call it a holiday, but we'll get into that to a minute. However, I do want to say, guess what? It is the Wednesday after Memorial Day, which means the shirts are in. And dummy that I was, I didn't grab one before I came up here. So give me a second. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Stand by, I'm there. Just want to make sure that those who are new to the channel know that the t-shirts are in. We are doing, this is the front, and here's the back. And FYI, it is not a sale. It is a giveaway, folks. And I'm going to give you the details here in just a minute. All right, the details are inside the comment section. And also, I'm about to post it here in the chat, is the email that you're going to send. When I send this out, all you got to do is put in the email is your name, address, and your shirt size. I got medium, large, extra large, and I think double X. And I forgot to grab the paperwork. It's sitting right over there. Again, give me a sec. Oh, shit. And I'm back. Okay. I've got, okay, here we go. I got mediums, I got large, and I got extra large. I do not have any double XL. So if you know anybody who requires that, or if you're so small that you're smaller than my drink here, then sorry, I don't have those. It is what it is. So again, putting in the email into the chat. And so if you got it, if you are not in the chat box and you're just listening, again, at the end of the stream, go into the playlist, find this stream. It will be in the description. I've already posted it there. So it's just that simple. If you are in need of multiples, just let me know. I will see what I can do. Then nothing's going out for about 1 week. I'm going to make sure everybody gets their orders in. If I have extra and you want, say, a medium and an extra large for you and whoever, whichever one you put in first, if I have extra, I will put in the second one. If I don't, you just get the first one. However, I do have to say, first come, first serve. That's the way it is. If I run out of t-shirts, I do run out of t-shirts. I will get you the closest size there is. But again, it's there. And I was hoping to wait until I got over 9,000 subscribers, but for some reason, my subscriber count keeps going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And I'm just like, you know what? You guys have been waiting. I've been promising it. And like the man says, I'm a man of my word. I can't do the laugh. Sorry, guys. I'm no Cesar Romero. I can't do that. However, so I don't lose my spot, let me pop the top here and we can get started today. Oh, I missed that. So a little bit of birch beer to loosen everything up. So I got my notes. I got folks in the chat, and let's get started. First things first, like I said, was the t-shirt. So that's already done. I'll go over that again, probably about the about an hour mark. So everybody who comes in will hear it. Also, now, again, this is taken directly from the comment section. I want people to know I'm going to try and stay away from politics if I can help it. I kind of grazed a little bit on when I did the different types of humans. You know, it is what it is, folks. I'm trying not to, hit the nail perfectly on the head on that, because last thing I need is this cancel being completely deleted. Not canceled. They'll just delete my channel and no one's going to be able to see shit. And I hate for that to happen. Some people get very, testy, which is kind of weird because they're always keyboard warriors with no balls. So, okay. I think most of you got this on the last part of Culture Shock, which, by the way, the next chapter is dropping tonight. But you'll notice that the certain group there, the Vox, I put down here, remember that pride, arrogance, and stupidity all in one complete package. One of the best lines in sci-fi ever, by the way. And that's them in a nutshell. And based on that, hey, they're losing everybody and they don't want to give up. Well, I can think of two different folks from Europe who were the same way, Napoleon and Hitler. I mean, they were like everything was crawling, yeah, collapsing all around them, and they just kept going. Okay, let's face it, over there in the Poltava, when the Swedish army was going there, and they're like, "You want to give these guys a little bit of rest?" No, they'll take everybody out, even though they have 3 days of marching under them. I mean, why? But you guys know I'm a big proponent of learning from history. Okay, I thought it was funny. Somebody just thought I was using eco-friendly WNDs, weapons of mass destruction, when I was talking about how they were breaking up the fault lines and popping the super volcano and whatnot. Didn't really think that was eco-friendly. I just thought it works because weather weapons are a thing. They're very much a thing. They've been developed since the 1950s. They started working on them. They got the HARP system over there in Alaska. Russia's got 2 of the damn things. And yeah, it's crazy. Now, if you can get the planet to do the work for you, that's even better. Saves you all the resources and whatnot. Let's see. I did enjoy another person's comment. You guys make me laugh. I swear, you guys make me laugh all the time. There's another one on one of the chapters of Culture Shock. And to summarize it, they're doing the "I've no more fucks to give." Yeah. That's what happens when humans got no more fucks. By the way, if you don't know that song, I suggest you look it up on YouTube. You will laugh your butt off. I can't do any more than that little bitty part, or they're going to flag this video, even if it's just me going over it. But yeah, it's you don't want humans to not give a fuck, because if that's the case, they're going to fuck your face in. Okay. I did notice that some of you, War Sniper in particular, how yeah, I can actually see it. The fleet of War Sniper is ready. If you guys actually request to be in the stories, I will do my best to get you in. If you have something particular, again, War Sniper 1 is his swarm, his drone swarm, or however it was, from a carrier. And if I remember, it was oh shoot, who was it? God. Wow, sorry guys, I just had a brain fart. But we had another one wanted to fire the big guns, so I put her into. And again, if you guys want that, if you want something specific like that, don't just put me in somewhere. If I put you in somewhere, you might not like it. So make sure if you want something specific, I will do my best to put it in for you. All right, hold on. God damn it. Sorry guys, there's something in the air around here. Everybody around here is just sneezing up a storm. It's just crazy. All right, the Memorial Day tribute, folded flags. I know not everybody watched it. A lot of people were kind of put off because there's so many Memorial Day tributes. We did have in the comment section, Matt was in there talking about how he doesn't celebrate Memorial Day because he just lost a friend recently, military friend, to some whatever. He put it in the comment section. I'll let you know it's not a holiday that you celebrate. That's why you never ever say Happy Memorial Day. Okay, that's not supposed to be a thing. It's supposed to be a day of remembrance, which is why that song, reaches out, grabs you by the heart, twists and pulls it right out of you. And first time I heard that, I was freaking, I was down too. First time I heard it, I was like, dude, that's wonderful, but don't you ever play that in front of me again. It is what it is. And again, I put that in because I tried to do it last year and it was a complete disaster. Couldn't get the editing software to work. And it still, for that one little video, took me about 4 hours to get everything to work. So I will say this, I'm going to be trying to do more editing on my videos, but that's a one-off. And the point of this whole thing is that's a one-off. I'm not going to be doing a whole bunch of things like that. I don't have other videos like that. So don't worry, it is just a one-off. Okay, next one. For the video that just dropped this morning, a lot of you did go through there. And when you're talking about the advanced Vox, just think Battle of the Bulge, because that was my inspiration for that. Okay, so that's how it is. Hopefully I didn't spoil it for nobody. But that is just where I got the idea. One last, let's get them. Oh shit. At least they didn't do like the Reich did and run out of gas. That was just funny. That's the reason why Bastogne was important, not the roads, was the fuel dump. Anyway, on to the next one. Erica, sorry, Erica, I think I mispronounced your name again. If you're watching, if it's Gem, I think it's Gem, but I think I pronounced it Gem when I did my thank you for you. I do apologize if I got it wrong. But guess what? If she's in here and you guys got any questions about avionics, apparently that's her field. So go ahead and can talk to her about that one. I know my basics, and I'm not going to go into the breakdown of engines. I'm sure she can tell me the tensile strength of different components and or flow rates and stuff. I'm not going to get into that on the stories. So, that's it wasn't a big week for comments, mainly because I was behind, guys. I was seriously behind. I had a family event on Saturday. We had our whole thing on Monday. I had to do like 2 or 3 different events where I had to do speeches and whatnot. It just didn't happen. Saturday, we had another town event I had to go to, and I was there for hours on end. It just came down to timing. I wasn't trying to sit there and say, oh, I just took off the weekend. Bullshit. I didn't. Even when I tried to actually sit down and write, sometimes, guys, it just doesn't happen. If you're too mentally exhausted, it just doesn't happen. If you're trying to create your own stuff and you're actually like trying to fire synapses that just don't want to fire, don't push it, because if you overstress it, you're done, folks. It's just the way it is. Sometimes I just have to take a day off every once in a while, or I get caught up in shit because, as we all know, they go, you work from home, you got time. Right. You're retired, you got time. Right. Yeah, right. Just to get that one out last night, I was actually in the middle of it. My brother showed up and I had to offload a trailer. Yay. So that one got posted just after, what was it? 11:15, we got finished with it. Or I got finished with it. So there's that one. Now, before I get into the chat box, I will like to say, if you got any story ideas, feel free to put them in. However, understand that I do not get rid of the notes. This is all the live notes that you guys send me. Okay. I do have the ones you previously sent, and there's some really good ones in there that I plan on getting and doing. So if you've already sent it, don't worry. I will be hitting it, because I want to hit up a bunch more single one-off stories, because the series can be difficult. I don't want to be sitting there and give you guys 3 or 4 chapters and then I get caught taking 2 or 3 days because, timing. I don't want to do that to you guys. That's a bullshit move. I don't like doing that, but it is what it is. That being said, if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, complaints, story ideas, let me know. I will put them down on here and I will be holding on to them. Starting tomorrow, we're going for a whole bunch of one-offs. So let me wet the whistle here. And for just before I go into, I just want to remind everybody that today is the t-shirt giveaway. In the comments section down there by my Meat Gazer, you're a Meat Gazer. No, down there in the Meat Gazer box, you do have the email. It is also in the chat box over here. So starting off, Brian's here first saying, hello, War Sniper is ready for new orders. Okay. You got a really big kick out of that, didn't you, War Sniper? Like I said, I will do what I can to get you guys in. I will let you know I actually went and rewrote a section of that just for you and your compatriot to actually get in that story. Got some hey hey, some LOLs, some more hey heys, hey hey, and up she rising. Greetings, humans. Okay, why not? SS Demons, really? 3XL, but it wasn't going to wear it. I was going to hang it up with my other shirt collectibles. Okay, hey, dude, whichever size, again, send it via email, and I need an address. It will be physically sent. Pure and simple. Ernest is here. He's checking in. War Sniper saying, oh, you misspelled pride, but pride comes before a fall. It's actually pride goeth before a fall, but hey, it happens every time. It happened to the Romans. It happened to the Greeks. I'm sure it happened to other civilizations we don't let me rephrase it. We're not allowed to know about. It's just constant. And we got a whole bunch of pride in this country. Pride in what? Oh, I was born of a certain. So what? It's here. I'm talking, getting into politics. Let me, pull back on that. And okay, let's get on it. Let's see. Ava. Oh, Ava, you're saying Ava was the one who wanted to fire the big gun? There you go. Let's see. Demon says, yeah, Ava, it turned me into a ship. Yeah. Actually, I kind of did. Well, you did ask for it. You want to be in the story, so there you go. Like I said, I will do what I can. And for those that don't know, just remember there's always a loss in translation. Always, no matter what, there's always a loss in translation. Okay. Wars Never Saying the drone swarm is hella effective. Yes, especially against a group that is not ready for it. If you noticed in that story, a lot of their point defenses were very limited. They expected that they'd be able to run in with their big guns and take out almost everything. And their point defenses were for like incoming rocks. I guess that's how they get their rocks off, whatever. So, yeah, if they had been like, we as humans, we get up there and we're just going to cover our ships with PDC. And just crazy. Yeah, point defense cannon was where I was going with that. Morrison ever saying rest in peace with a salute. Yep, I know who you're talking about now because I kind of blinked over towards the chat while you put that in. And yeah, I don't like that. Out of all the things I've done in the service, the one thing I hate the most, and this includes ankle deep in motor oil and blood, I still hate funeral detail the most. Let's see. War's never saying I like Shinano getting into the merchant. There it comes and say, oh, okay. I see where she broke into the comms and went, no. And yes, I do watch some anime, and I know that's a thing in Japanese culture where no. It's like, and it's supposed to be cute. Honestly, here in the US, it's annoying, but that's why I threw that in. And then she's like, you should go home now. If you don't know where that reference is from, I'm going to let you know. That reference is from when the F-22s got into their first, I don't want to say sortie, but they went up against a couple F-4 Phantoms, and they just literally showed up like right next to the Phantom and over the radio, and he was calm as can be. You should go home now. And the guy's like, yep, yeah, I'm out of here. He was just done. Let's see, you should go home now was funny. Where the rain drop pods, Helldiver 2 reference. Yeah, it's actually one of the things. They do look like giant raindrops. So you drop a bunch, it's metal rain. I do use that a lot because it can reference a lot of things. Usually when I do metal rain, it's debris fields of large ships coming down. but it does work for, mass drop of pods. War Sniper again says, I like the part in the last story episode that every fleet and ship of your community warped in. They're like, hi, you die now. Pretty much. You never want to give humanity a common enemy. That's one of the things that would scare the living shit out of everybody. Because once they have a common enemy, God help you. Because that, even in World War II, the UK, the US, the USSR, and everybody else, they really didn't like each other much. They really didn't. If anything, they liked to shoot each other. But they all had a common enemy. They came together just to stomp the a group in. Horse never says, I'll do it after the stream. I'm guessing drop in and set your shirt size. Ava says, all right, who am I dropping on today? Hopefully not me. I like my roof. It's, it's barely holding together. Don't come through my ceiling. Something comes crashing in, you'll know it's Ava. Let's see. Hey, hi, Ava, says Demon. Party at Sin's place, Demon. Woo! Yeah. I don't really party much anymore. My big party days are way behind me now. Demon says, sounds good to me. I think I'm one of the closest people to there, but I'll still probably be late. No worries. I'm late for almost everything except going to work, and most of the time this live stream. Don't worry about being late. People, I see the number is over here, right above my fingertips on my screen. And I see that sucker fluctuate all the time. So don't worry about it. Some people show up like an hour late. It's not a big deal. Okay. Ernest on here saying, can you put me in one of your stories as commander of assault squad? Okay. Hold on, folks. I want to write this down. Okay, got it. I'll see what I can do. Depends on what's coming up because, again, I'm going by you guys' suggestions on those one-off stories, and we'll see where it goes from there. War Sniper again. Oh, you're busy today. Oh, yeah, Sin, you need to hold an eye on Helldivers 2. Their story tomorrow. We go. Okay. Are you typing mobile, man? Let's see. You need to hold a eye on Helldivers 2, and their story tomorrow will go phase 2 of destroying a super colony of bugs. Ugh. We're going to inject dark matter in the planet till it collapses in on itself. Well, that's not exactly how dark matter works, depending on how you use it. But yeah, now if you're talking antimatter, as in dark matter, yeah, that works. Although it's going to implode, and then you better be very far away, because any type of antimatter explosion, you want to stay as far away as possible. Which is why when they try to create antimatter at CERN, they got to make it in one or two little molecules. It still blows about half the equivalent of a grenade, but that thing's really strong. Plus, the area it's in is kind of open. So, let's see. Leonid's here. I call any escort ship with a multi-role capabilities a fighter. I hope that makes sense. Escort ship. Now, you can have a warship of any size. Okay. If it's multi-role, depends on what. Okay, on this one, Leonid, this is why each one has its own definition, because you can have a destroyer that can also carry folks and deploy them, but it's still not a drop frigate. A drop frigate specializes in dropping people. However, a drop frigate can still carry missiles, can still have guns. It really depends on what it's specialized for. If you're talking something about Corvette class size, which is usually something for a crew of about 4, and it is designed specifically to fight, as in one turret or fixed weapon, a shit ton of engine power, a bunch of PDCs to protect itself, preferably stealth rigged. All that stuff. That would be, yes, that would be a fighter. That would be a Corvette class fighter. That does make perfect sense. But you got to remember, each of these is going to be put in its own class, depending on a size, and two, the one thing it's better at than all the other stuff that it can do. That's how they classify them. Well, at least that's how on this channel we classify them. I'm trying to set the standard because there's so many different things in sci-fi. I mean, come on, they call a battleship a star destroyer. Everybody thinks it's a destroyer. That's a fucking battleship, guys. That is not a destroyer. That thing is designed to crack fleets in half. It's going to sit there and say, hey, rebel fleet, I'm going to, and then I'm going to backhand you too, get you a double bitch slap, because it can. It's designed to take out fleets. Can't take out fighters worth of shit, but it's designed to take out fleets. It's a battleship. All right. Let's see. Worst number says, and we have mechs with 4 heavy autocannons, 2 in each arm. I know you're going to like it when you join. I am a big mech fan. I'm a Battletech fan. Are you talking battle mechs or are you talking mecha? Because that's a big difference. I've had this conversation enough times, and that one letter actually makes a big difference, because a mech is in a battle mech is a very, very specific thing. It's a walking weapons platform with a very distinct role. Mecha can be anything from something you use to load ships up to, Gundam Wing, basically the difference between a Prius and a tank, or an Abrams tank. They're still classified as vehicles, but it's such a broad term when you say vehicle. Just like aircraft. A model aircraft is still an aircraft. However, would you put it in the same thing as the big ugly fat fucker that the Air Force uses to carry stuff? No. Or a B-2? Absolutely not. So again, just watch on that one. How heavy are the auto cannons in each arm? That's what I'd like to know. What's their caliber? Do you know, or does it just have a certain classification? Let's see. Brian here. Have a ride meeting at 6:30. Time to depart. See you later. See you, Brian. Ride meeting. I'm guessing the motorcycle type of ride. Yep, I agree with the demon on that. Good luck. Please wear a helmet. I know a lot of guys fight against that, but unfortunately, we had on the end of my second tour, guy came back without a scratch within a week. Him and his girlfriend were laying on a slab because they didn't wear helmets. He was also driving drunk, but that's beside the point. You can drive drunk, get in an accident, as long as you keep the gray matter inside the head, you should survive. Okay, Ava Clark says, I like my ship shooting from the other side of the system using orbit transfers to snipe with a beehive round that's 10 meter in range. Wow, that's a huge round. Shred a fleet in one shot and get some orbital bombardment in one go. For that to happen, you would have to line up that shot exactly so that your spread actually travels towards the planet and catches the fleet in the middle and just keeps going. If you're talking about the ship that I put you in, yeah, those were mostly energy weapons that just kept going. Well, most of them. There were some other main guns there, but yeah, mostly what I gave on that one was a direct energy weapon that just basically burned through everything in a matter of 2 or 3 seconds. Which is why it kind of landed on their heads like someone else I know. Okay. Destroyer with a BFG. Oh, that would be a big fucking gun. That'd be recoil from hell, depending on what type it is. Energy weapon, not so much. But now the kicker on that is right there, scale it down. You have the basic drone. And that's the whole thing in sci-fi. And people never use this. Okay, drones only have to be jets and guns and nothing else. And if you have them to a certain size, you basically have a secondary cannon from a destroyer or a battleship swooping around, getting close and making sure time on target, motherfucker, and freaking blasting everybody. I mean, the thing moves like a damn missile, and when you're in space, there's no resistance. You can just bounce up and down and left, right. Come on. You do that for like 2 or 3 seconds. I don't care who you are as a human. You're blowing chunks all over the inside of your helmet. Kind of hard to see when you just freaking blasted that whole face shield. Now, if you're in a destroyer class with if destroyers are mostly all around, that would be a actual frigate, because you are specializing. If you have a destroyer with a big gun that's about the same size, that's why even in Halo, what you would think would be a destroyer are labeled as frigates, because they're designed to do primarily one thing, and that's to put rounds on there, warheads on foreheads, and basically just shove something really hard into their face and make them swallow it. Let's see. But yeah, that it again wouldn't be a destroyer, would be a frigate, would be about the same size as a destroyer, which most frigates are. Let's see. It says put you in there with a Neuralink helmet. Also known, for those of you who don't know, that used to be called cyberjacking. And before you say, no, it wasn't cyberjacking off, that's a very old tech joke. Okay, I'm going to put you in here, Ava. Frigate with BFG. Cyberjacked. And I'll see what I can do about putting you in. All right. Oh, she keeps going here. Combined with scouts, it's deadly. Yeah, if you can surprise somebody, surprise, I'm about to penetrate you. Yeah. That'd be like that scene from Jason where a woman's standing there and he shoves the blade right up her bunghole, goes all the way to her heart. She's like, ah! For like 2 seconds. And not in a fun, but she does. Okay. Let's see. More like an exosuit, somewhere between a Titan and an exosuit. Okay. Are you talking Titan as in Planetfall Titan? Or are you talking Titan class? You got to be specific on that. There's a lot of things in this genre that have very specific titles for a reason. Now, if you're talking something that big, your size of weapon is going to be minimized a lot. You're not going to have a warship cannon on that. You're just going to be holding something. But Helldiver 2MAY. Okay. Okay, I haven't seen it. Ava says Titanfall 2 Titan War Snipes. Yeah, well, the thing is, that's not really an exosuit as it is an AI itself. The only reason I don't like Titanfall, guys, and the way they portray it is because for you to actually operate the way it is, either A, you need to become a body pilot where you're actually in a suit and it's following your motions, or you are actually cyberjacked where they drill a hole in your skull and they put a link in with a bunch of wires inside your head. So all the little circuits are firing in there and they go back and control it. You can't just do it with two handles, okay? Even inside a battle mech, you've got 3 or 4 to hold on. I will finish this thought in a moment because we have our first super sticker of the night, and it's from Erica. Let me write down here so I give you your shout out. It's a $5 super sticker. Erica Gem. is in, and she's dropped it up. Thank you very much. And that's going to be used to send out the shirts and possibly get some more stuff that I can send out. Like, well, maybe not cards. Maybe I can find myself a little something else. I don't know yet. Maybe hats or something next. I don't know. But thank you. Thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate everything. And you will be getting your shout out. FYI, the one, where was it? Ava, you haven't got your shout out from last week yet because I'm behind. Oh, I mentioned her name. I swear to God, it's like the friggin' Candyman. I say her name and she pops up here with $10 New Zealand super sticker, and she's jumping for joy over there. Let me write this down. So again, you get your shout out on this because I appreciate it again very much. Okay. And again, thank you again so much. It does support the channel and it does go back into the channel itself. One of the things I'm working on is I actually have to pay for sound effects. You believe that shit? It's crazy. And they're not exactly cheap either. So that's one of the reasons I haven't been going on it so much. Now, I will say the old story about the one sound that scares the shit out of everybody that humans make apparently was a little loud. And guess what? That wasn't a sound effect. That was the real thing. It's back there. But if I show it on this screen, this thing, I'm demonetized for a week. So it is what it is. So again, thank you, Ava. Thank you, Erica. And back into the chats we go. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. Okay, I guess I'm here with Demon. Oh, that reminds me. They announced another Armored Core game will be coming out. He's so excited and he just can't hide it. I want to. I want to play the games. I don't have the time. I really wish I did. Again, the one game I play is down there. I've been trying to finish it for months now. I still haven't been able to get enough time to sit down and play it. Not that I'm bad at the game. It's just you got so many things you got to go through to actually finish it, and I just don't have time for it. Let's see. Ava Clark said, I'd say 50 millimeter autocannons is my guess. 50 mil. That's like that wide. That's like 3 inches across. That's going to be one hell of a oof. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. Ava's back with another $5 super chat. This time she's chatting away. She says, it was real. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to write this down. Hold on. This is a different one here. So again, thank you so much. It was real. 0 versus 0. Incoming. Just watch out. Ava might drop on you in case if you don't call her out, she might call, or how do I put this? If you say her name too much, she might drop on you through the pods. So watch out. 50 millimeters, 1.9 inches. Okay. Yeah. Still, that's pretty wide. Okay. It's, I used to work with 25 millimeter cannons inside of Bradley, and they'll actually shake that sucker when you fire it. I mean, there's no question on that. So if you're talking something that weighs half that much and you're firing a weapon that's twice as heavy, you better be braced on something because that's going to freaking send you. That's going to send you a long way off. So again, thank you again so much. So much. I do appreciate it. Wow. Okay. I don't know where I was on the chat here, so I'll just start here. Oh, Demon, you crazy freaking succubus putting what the fuck? Dude, awesome. I'm not worthy, man. I'm not worthy. He sent a $50 super sticker again. Holy shit. I did not expect this today. I thought it was going to be a short stream, but I just need to know, Demon, if you want to have an actual demon or you want to be a ship again this time. Because that's what I put you as. I ran out of demons to use. I was like, oh shit, what do I got? Here we go. So, and he's got his guy saying how it's super effective. And geez, you guys are making it so I can't keep up with the chats. I appreciate that. Again, so much I do from the bottom of my heart, folks. It does help the channel big time. And I'll do my best not to let you down. Okay, where was I? Okay, I think I was here with Leonid. It says, what about the shotgun torpedo that boosts multiple guided rockets into the fighter formation? I think I know what you're talking about, and it's a very complex piece of machinery. It would work, but it's not going to look like anything you see on the animes. Those things, I'm looking at them and I'm laughing because that's not how those would work. How it would work is you're firing one torpedo, and then the ends would come off like a sable round, and then right after that, the torpedoes would come out around, and then launch off to their different targets, while the center missile is still locked on its main target. Would that work? Yes. Would it work like the animes? Absolutely not. There's too much there, and you would burn way too much fuel to do the stuff they do on there. That actually hurt. Ava says, submunition missile, commonly called a cluster missile. Oh, yeah. Well, I know that one. Usually used in a cluster bomb. Most cluster munitions are used air to air, but using a proximity fuse so that they can get a bigger, well, kaboom, so they can get more of the plane they're trying to blow apart. At least the ones that I've seen that way. Demon says, I bet Ava would love to fire the main gun on an offensive dreadnoughts in the drone fleet. Okay. Lengths of 180 kilometers. Shit, massive guns. You can have MAC guns as small as my car. It's a MAC gun is basically a coil. It's a coil gun. If you're talking Halo specifically, those are coil guns. They are specifically coil guns, so that they can fire that way. They can. I don't know if you've read the books, but one of them only fires a 7mm round. It just fires it so fast it's meant to pierce through the shields at one specific point and screw up a bunch of stuff as it goes by. The other ones can go up to like 3 feet across. I mean, it's crazy. It really depends on your energy output and the size of the munition that will choose that. Isaac wants to be put in the story too. Okay, hold on. Let's see. You can put me in a story I suggested about the alien that visits a decommissioned. Okay, alien decommissioned human battleship. Okay, sorry, I almost put that wrong. Battle shit. Okay. Tour guide. Okay. And that would be. Oh, you jumped on me. Isaac. Okay, I got you down on that one, Isaac. Eric again, Gem saying, sorry I'm late. You're not late. You're right on time. And we got your $5 right under there. So still clicking down here. And whoa, jumping here. War Sniper says, Sin, now we are kicking the aliens and their asses. Can you do that? My ship ambushes them with FTL warp capable drones in the area of upgrading yourself so you can do the evil. Oh, I can do an evil laugh. It just, I've been told it actually scares people. Plus it kind of hurts. That's why I don't like doing it. The thing is, War Sniper, that next episode's already done. It's been posted. It's waiting to drop at midnight. It's so I can't I can't go in and change it now. If I was to add a bunch of stuff, I'd have to rewrite half of it, and I just do not have the time and capacity to do that. And I'm looking here at the super chats again. Thank you, Ava. Appreciate it. Warsnap says also send look on Discord general chat. I posted and tag you there. Well, again, I don't have a lot of time to be on Discord. I was actually out all day working in the garden, which, yeah, it's planting season, folks. And yes, I do have a garden. I got to help my dad with his. It's a big mess. I had to make a potato tower yesterday, a one that's about 8 feet tall. Yeah, fun. There's Demon Super Chat again, Mr. Super Effective. Thank you so much. And the Herger, I haven't seen you on here before, says, boom. Well, I'm gonna boom. Beer me. And this is birch beer, so it counts. Okay. Ava said, what the how, man? It was super effective, Demon says. You guys are funny. Okay, Warstorm says, we can use Demon in this story to combat the aliens. Again, I hate to say it, but the next chapter is the last one, guys. It's kind of small spoiler on that one, but it's the last one, and I can't change it. So I'll have to be using that later. Let's see. Whoa. Okay, we're jumping here. Warsniper says he comes alone again and destroys a whole fleet. Well, you guys might find what I got coming in kind of interesting. And then you're going to be like, dude, oh, if it don't put a chill down your spine, something's wrong. At least I tried. Let's see. Or support him with warp capable drones. Okay, guys. I can't change the story. It's already on there. Let's see. Ava says the 4 types of electromagnetic accelerators: 1, coil gun; 2, rail gun; 3, Gauss cannon; and 4, hybrid. A Gauss is more or less its own rail gun, depending on how you look at it. It can be also a hybrid. More often than not, a Gauss has 3 rails instead of 2, where it's using multiple circuits at the same time instead of just the one circuit off a rail gun. Coil guns get really complex really fast. The hybrid ones, geez, the specialization in ammo. I mean, I just saw a video maybe 2 or 3 hours ago, and I appreciate that they actually broke it down, because when I first actually saw the hybrid coil gun or rail gun, I was like, it can't be this complicated. It's electricity. How can it be this complicated? It's pretty fucking complicated, I'll tell you that. When you're trying to get everything to flow in a certain way, and it ain't water. You can't just put a dam and a sluice gate and make it go a certain way. It's very different. Let's see. Ava here. Coil guns have the highest punch and range, but need a massive barrel to work at best, and they heat up like a bitch. They only heat up because nobody thinks of probably the simplest solution of the entire freaking thing. And that is to actually adhere metal wheels onto it. Metal wheels that are slightly turned so it actually spins the projectile, so you're not building up heat in one spot every single time. And if you do that, you would also end up putting rifling in the barrel itself, and then it would go a lot faster. And all you have to do once it exits the barrel, just like any other kinetic sable round, off goes the shell, out goes the round, and there you go. Let's see. Ava says number 2, rail guns are the simplest one and can fire the largest variety of munitions, which is true. But wear and tear is a problem, but has the lowest heat of generation of the 4. It does. It very much does. And again, people don't realize you don't need to have full connectivity to get full conductivity on this. And it kind of hurts my brain every time I go through this. But it is what it is. I mean, you got to complete the circuit somehow. So And for those that don't know, the only reason why it wears out the barrel a lot faster than a ballistic weapon is the sheer speed you're going at. You get to a certain speed and any metal becomes pliable. It's crazy. It does turn into liquid. Let's see. Now I'm going to jump down here and hit your number 3. Gauss cannons are somewhere between railgun and coil gun and can have a punch, but it's smaller and is restricted in its munitions. That is true. The kicker is Gauss cannons. I've seen them designed at least 2 different ways, and I can tell you that some Gauss cannons are very simple. They're basically a rail gun with an extra rail, which all I can say is, how the fuck does that work? And then they explain to me, you're sending a one pulse down one and it's going to the other 2. So it's at the 2 that's going back is actually pulling it forward so it goes faster. And then you have to rotate which one charges forward and which one comes back. It's not a bad idea if you're worried about burning it out through electric shock, but I'd be more worried about the barrel just burning the hell out. It says hybrid is using both powder gun and accelerator at its highest fire rate, and you have limited ammo. Yes and no. You don't actually need the gunpowder. You don't need much of it. Once you actually ignite it, the actual force, the plasma buildup inside basically its own little ass blaster is what it is. It builds up inside because of the charges that's coming through. The charged particles are actually going to go through the projectile into the back and then launch out the back. The thing is, it's incredibly hot. I mean, holy fuck. You would think that's what they use in BattleTech think about that when they actually do their cinematics, because every time they fire one of these autocannons, the end of the barrel is like glowing red hot. I'm like, if they're using this, yes, they would be. But the thing is, in BattleTech, they're not using rail usually. The most they use is Gauss, and the majority of what they use is actual propellant. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? Erica Gem says, I'm more of a railgun person. Reduce heat fatigue, from my understanding. Yeah. They're all going to build up heat. I mean, that's just the way that is just the nature of these weapons. There's going to be friction. There's going to be heat. You're going to get heat from the electric. It's just the way it is. Okay, Lena, does it make sense to have nuclear-powered electromagnetic accelerator that shoots toroid? I don't think you spelled that right. A plasma at the capital ships. The plasma is very, very, very inefficient. Especially in space, it burns out so quick, it's crazy. Okay, the only reason that flamethrowers actually work is because the actual accelerant being used won't catch fire for a while. It will burn hot, but it won't burn away very fast. Plasma itself, in its purest form, blinks out fairly quick. If you're able to use it and smash it into a ship, then yes, it will work. It will melt everything because the heat is going to radiate through the hull itself and turn it into basically butter. You would, for a large Mac cannon or any type of electromagnetic accelerator, nuclear power's fine. You need a lot of juice. You need a hell of a lot of juice. You need cables that are thicker than my fist. I mean, it's just crazy. Let's see. Warsnumber says, hey, Ava, I hope we can fit different weapons on the mech to effectively battle the Illuminates. Illuminates? The Illuminati? Oh, shit. You guys are taking down all the elites. Or at least they think they're elites. They're actually just assholes. So, Warsnumber saying later. I guess he's about to punch out. Oh, shit. I just read that. Warsnumber says, one to destroy the shield, one to destroy the target itself. Yeah, that's the thing. Depending on your universe, if you have any type of defensive measure, you got to get through it. If that's an interdiction field, if that's a energy shield, if that's a ballistic shield, whatever type of protection, you're going to have to either go through it or bypass it somehow. And more often than not, in most sci-fis, you're not able to bypass it. So you have to somehow break it down. I will say this, though. The one thing that they never, ever, ever use, which I think is straight up fucking stupid, is if you have some sort of energy bubble around the ship, that the EMP is not the first thing you reach for. Because that makes sense. That makes sense on all of it. Because that is going to, it's either going to either A, shut down the shield, or it's going to overload the shield and fry all the components inside the ship. So the shield is down either way. And if you're lucky, if it fries everything, it's going to set part of the ship on fire. And let's face it, you're in a spaceship. You don't want fire. Fire bad. Which the thing is, every time I see a Trekkie Trek, I think the same thing. Why aren't they just EMPing the freaking shield instead of literally trying to shoot through it? A energy shield designed to stop energy weapons, and they're trying to cut through it with an energy weapon. Who the fuck writes this shit? Oh my God, it's horrible. This is why whenever you have practical, like the Halo universe, or even hell, Babylon 5 even, if you put them toe to toe with another one like Star Wars or Trek or any of that, they lose. They lose big because they don't think logically. It's just terrible. And it drives me crazy because some of the series can be good, and then for plot reasons or whatever you want to wrap your brain in it just turns it terrible. And I'm like, why? Ugh. Okay, where were we? Lena says, I imagine that people will hear a large sonic boom if a railgun fires inside an atmosphere. That is 100% true, which is why the few railguns that are being used today, like from the Japanese, you cannot fire them when somebody's outside. It will fuck up everything. The very few actually have been working on those because most people are using guided munitions anyway. Let's see. Ava says, Leonid, you're talking about a plasma railgun, but they're not accurate at all. Okay, I'm not well versed on plasma railguns. I do know a bit about plasma, and they tend to suck serious nuts. You can actually create a bullet for your shotgun. It's not hard to do, where when it actually fires, the heat from the barrel will cause the inside of this cylinder to become superheated plasma. The thing is, if it does not strike its target within about 10 to 15 feet, it burns itself out, and it's just a regular projectile hitting. Now, if it does hit, you can start a fire real quick. But, I mean, I can do the same thing with Dragon's Breath, which is just magnesium. Okay, SS Demon says, I was thinking about adding a few additional ships to Drone Fleet Legion and make it even more autonomous, like mining ships, repair ships, manufacturing ships. So a fleet most of the time wouldn't have to dock at planetary shipyards. They could just to go some random place that no one would think to go. The idea of that is horrifying. The thing is, if you have anybody that wants to go toe to toe with this drone fleet, these autonomous like repair ships and your manufacturing ships, they would be the number one target. And if the thinking machine isn't smart enough to protect them, they'd be fucked fast in the Cylons. Well, let me rephrase that. They'd be fucked fast in the blonde Cylons. That's how fast they'd be fucked. Because just like I'm sure a few of you play the fantasy games. If you're fighting a group, who is the main person you want to take out first? The healer, because if you take them out, nobody can repair themselves. It's just the way it is. That's why logistics is such a huge, huge deal. Anyway, let's see. But yeah, that would be, if they can keep their support units intact, their demon, that would be God, that'd be scary. Okay, War Sniper says, Sin, the Illuminates are a new faction of aliens with technologically advanced that are technologically advanced in Helldivers 2. And I think the trigger is, oh, hold on, this is jumping. Trigger is that we destroy the planet because we use their tech. Yeah, groups might be a little pissed if you start stealing their stuff or copying it, and then we look like certain countries around this planet. Yeah, you don't want an entire species looking like that. That would be bad. But don't worry, you can still fight for democracy. All right. Okay. We guys, now we passed an hour just recently here. So I do have to say this. For those who have not been here before, I do have to pause on the chats and talk about the t-shirts. If you have not been briefed already, we have t-shirts in the t-shirt giveaway. I'm going to put once again in the chat box the email to go to. I got mediums, I got large, I got extra large. That is it. Send me your primary size and I will send it to you. Make sure you put your name and address in the email. Do not put it into the chat box. Okay. I'm going to say that one again. Do not put it in the chat box. Send it to the email. Within a week, actually by next Wednesday, I will take everybody there. I will have everything packaged up and everything's going to go out. So there you go. Okay, sending it out now to make sure it's in. If you don't get it inside the chat box, then you go down to the Meat Gazer box down below where I'm sitting. It's in there in the description. Okay. Let's see. Ava says, kinetics are the multi-tool of munitions. Energy weapons are special-sized wrenched. Yeah, you also have to figure out what type of energy you're going to be used. Heat, light, particle, all this stuff that needs to be thought of on that. You can focus plasma actually into a laser that plasma induced. Will it work in? I mean, I've seen people use plasma cutters, but they're like right on it. It's crazy on that. Let's see. Lena says, depending on the definition, thermobaric weapons is a flamethrower, and yet I see it used in HFY stories against aliens. Why? Because it works. Okay, a thermobaric. Now, here's why you see it a lot, Leonid, is because we call it a flamethrower. When you break it all the way down, it's actually a plasma thrower. Okay, this what it is. It just burns not as hot as pure plasma, not even close, and it uses an accelerant base, not using an electric. So that's why they use it, because again, we can say plasma. It sounds a little better, but you're still also doing the one thing that every single living creature on this planet and any other planet is scared to death of, and that is burning up. Nobody wants to be burned up. It's brutal. It's slow. It's painful. It's gross. It smells horrible. Okay? Nobody wants to do that. So it's a way of not only winning, but can also scare the shit out of the other side. Let's see. Ava says, plasma railgun levitates the projectile, but in doing so, it creates clump of plasma, but it's very delicate weapon, and any interference makes it useless. Yeah, you can overdo a weapon like that. The more moving parts, the more things can break. Okay, I've always been told that whenever I'm building something, the more moving parts you make, the more things can break. It's just what it is. I've always even been told, don't trust a safety, because safeties are machines and machines break. Have I seen that once in basic training where somebody came up and their safety selector lever was just flopping in the breeze? Yep. Hey, give me the radio. A weapons truck. Yeah. Are you able to get down to range 6? On the way. Thank you. And that was it. We watched the weapons truck come in. He disassembled the whole thing, replaced the part, sent him back out there. But sometimes you don't have that. And you really don't want to be someplace where your fucking safety don't work. Because this might be your safety, but yeah, no. Okay. Whoever's calling me, I'm going to kill them. Excuse me, folks. Yeah. Okay. If he comes in, I'll let him know. But I'm streaming right now. I'll call you later. All right, bye. Okay. Sorry about that. Some family shit going on. All right. Let's see. Techman Rage says, remember Halo Reach? Mac rounds in atmosphere. Yeah, I wouldn't shoot him down for sure. Hold on to your teeth. He wasn't kidding, especially firing that close. The shockwave is actually going to burst out seemingly vertically, even though it fires horizontally. There's a whole bunch to that, but yeah, it's crazy. When they showed the Mac Ground actually firing straight down, if they were smart, they had it floating over water because water would actually catch the round a little bit before it actually hit the ground. Once it hits the ground, it's going clean through. Ava saying, George, no. I'm guessing the wannabe Halo. Okay, before I say the wrong thing, I want to say this. I have the original Halo books. I believe they're over here, and I will show you. Oh, ow. Hold on a sec, folks. I'm coming in. I own a fucking copy of Fall of Reach. I know what the Halo 2s are all about. I know the actual Spartans. What I saw in that video game was a giant insult to people who enjoy the book. So I do not care much about the Fall of Reach video game. I'm sorry if you guys enjoy it. By all means, enjoy it. I don't. And George was a pretty interesting character in there too, and they did not do him justice. I mean, it was bad. Techman Ray says, "Be nice and protect your mechanics." Yeah, they're one of the groups of people you don't want to piss off. That's what you don't want to piss off the mechanics, your combo guy, Doc, any of your supply. That's for sure. With certain people you just don't want to piss off, and that's one of them. Okay. You'll be remembered, George, for taking off your helmet and then zapping something into the nowhere of space. Yeah, that was real smart. Okay. SS Demon, the fleet needs some weakness, I feel. It's too OP, overpowered, and nothing to stop them from running away if the cloaks don't work. Well, therein lies the rub. I mean, that's a hard part of anybody who writes is you want your character to be the strongest one ever, but you can always overdo it. That's actually one of the reasons I stopped watching Dragon's Balls. Besides the fact that I started calling it Dragon's Balls, and because it was like, okay, every character is now a freaking god. I mean, what the hell? They actually had to bring in somebody and create a character with no true backstory who just happened to be so unbelievably powerful that if he farted, he could end the universe. And he's like some purple dogman person. I'm like, what the fuck, over? And it's like, if you're so strong that just powering up is going to shake a planet, I'm sorry, no. C. Warsnammer says, SS Demon, maybe EMP as a weakness for your drone fleet or jammers. Maybe. It wouldn't know how to implement. And that's the one thing with AI is it's not inventive, okay, at all. It can take existing material and combine those factors. Any new weapon they've never faced before, they would be completely freaking lost and not know what they're doing. Unless it's some sort of thinking AI, which in that point, you're talking about artificial life. So yeah, that's a big one. All you have to do is do something different. Maybe they're not used to dealing with, giant rocks being thrown at them. Run them through an asteroid field where they think, oh, I'll just get my way through, and all of a sudden, send, boulders their way on some sort of booster. Let's see. Chris Dixon saying, Happy Memorial Day late. I was in Arlington visiting SB1 U.S. Navy retired. You're not, I did this part in the beginning of the stream there, Chris, and you don't ever say Happy Memorial Day because it's supposed to be a solemn holiday. It's a day of remembrance, not officially happy. And I had to bring up some like heartbreaking news early in the stream. I don't want to do it again because we kind of, it might hurt people a bit to hear it over again. But yeah, I do appreciate you saying, and I hope you had a good Memorial Day as well. Enjoyed the long weekend, and I hope your retired Navy friend is good. Or is that you, SB1 U.S. Navy retired? I might be reading this wrong. If I am, I do apologize if I'm reading it wrong. Okay. Dustin, he says, what's your favorite fan Star Trek series? I don't really have one. I do have certain characters that did a really good job, so much you can't say they were bad. The guy who played the bartender with the big flipping ears, he did a wonderful job. The guy who was the former assassin who had like the snake neck thing going on, the actor did such a good job that I can't help but enjoy it. I hate the series. I love watching those guys on the screen because they do such a good job. And one of the best scenes is what's his name? Quark, I think. He says solves a war with economics. It is a friggin' great scene. It's so well done. I'm sure you guys seen it. You have weapons. They have weapons. Everybody has weapons. I'm sure you know that. But it was great. He somebody who's in economics out-logicked a Vulcan. Think about that. Let's see. Alina says, from what I know, the FTL-based communications are going to get strange with Hive-like networks. You don't really need Hive-like networks for that to work. Is it going to be crisscrossed across the entire universe? Yeah. But when you're talking about working in quantum, it's really not as complicated as you think. They want me to think it's complicated. There is some interesting math that goes in there, math that I have a hard time following as well. That being said, once the base work is done, it's really simple. It's called quantum entanglement, actually, and that sounds weird. And all the names, I swear to God, are misleading for a reason. So people don't know what the hell they're talking about. Just like if I said hypersonics, not hypersonic, hypersonics, it would be, what do you think? That's traveling fast, right? You'd be wrong. Has to do with invisibility. If you go hypersonic, no S at the end, that's going fast. Okay. Demon said they're extremely EMP resistant, and if you do manage to jam the signal of the command ship, the AI is more than capable of acting solo. Well, yeah, you might have just made them a little too much. Like I said, you got to look into something they haven't dealt with before. Whatever you do against a drone fleet will work a grand total of one time. So you're going to have to find out like 5 or 6 different plans and implement them one right after the other. And they have to be very different and brand new. Like maybe they've never dealt with a smoke screen. Maybe they've never dealt with a diamond field before, where you spread a whole bunch of diamond dust or maybe glass or water or something in there, so their sensors are going absolutely haywire and they don't know how to filter it yet, but they will learn pretty quick once they realize what's going on. But if you can't get them all in one shot, you have to force them into another situation where they're facing something else, the same thing. That's how you would have to do that, because that's the only weakness AI has. AI cannot think ahead. It cannot plan ahead. It's not designed to do that. Well, I shouldn't say they're not designed for. Very few are. But a lot of times their projections are very wrong, because there's always an X factor when you're dealing with humans. Okay. Dustin D said, "Did you ever want to live in Vegas?" Not really. It's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. When I'm there, I'm there to see like the Terry Fader show and a few others, and yeah, and that's. I don't even go to the gambling floor. I might go on a couple of the roller coasters that actually go through the gambling floor. Let's see. Ava says 18 flying tank scene. When they were shooting the lake, they were creating air bubbles to soften their landing, not slow themselves down. That is true. You do have to actually do that, because if you hit water at a high enough speed, guess what? You might as well be landing on concrete. And yeah, that's I'm glad you brought that up, Ava. I've pretty much forgotten about it. Demon says, though I do have it set to where if the command ship is destroyed, they automatically retreat. You mean they advance in the opposite direction? Leonid said 18 tank go splat. No, it didn't go splat. It went splash. I just found it funny that when it went into the water, even though, believe it or not, German tanks and Russian tanks are some of the few ones that can actually fully submerge, that it landed back on its tracks. Especially since, speaking strictly through the physics, when it went down, it should have tilted and landed on its turret. It shouldn't have landed on its tracks. Unless as soon as they landed, they fired as they went down, and that would actually force it the other way. But then again, it would have to be going nose straight down. There's so much to that. I waved it off because it's a movie. Let's see. Doesn't he says the Double J Enterprise is way overpowered compared to the TOS Enterprise. Wouldn't that make it a POS? Anyways, again, I'm not too much into those, and the whole thing about the Federation being peaceful and all this other fun stuff. I'm like, they're a military. Don't bullshit us. They are a military. All their ships, down to their smallest ships, are extremely well armed. I mean, even that what the hell they call that? The shuttle that looks like a minivan. That thing has some serious weapons on it. Well, I shouldn't say serious, but it is armed really well for something its size. Let's see. Demon says, I was going to share the fleet on Discord once and post a version of it on a story, but I might post it once I make these upgrade changes. You can go ahead and post it whenever. It's going to take me a while to actually go through to create a story with a drone fleet. Honestly, I haven't got very far on it yet. I got all your emails, though. Let's see. Lena says, I like watching forgotten Star Trek spinoff called Andromeda. It was pretty okay before season 5 stream. I know nothing about Andromeda. I think that was the guy who played Hercules was on that, and I saw that and went, no. The guy really, I've never seen him where he acts well. I think he's there just as a joke. He's also a big guy and kind of a pretty boy, so that draws the women in. Let's see. Demon says, I'll send you the updates on the fleet this weekend. Okay. The base fleet will be the same. I'll be adding one additional offensive dreadnought, one carrier, a mini command ship that will manage the non-combat role vessels. Okay. And one thing, though, Demon, you always got to worry about some sort of hacking when it comes to drone ships. If they can receive anything, any communications, then they can receive some sort of computer virus. If that virus is able to make them turn on each other, see them somehow as enemies, then no one has to fight the drone fleet. They will just tear themselves apart. It's the same premise, believe it or not, of that horrible Avengers movie where they got all the ships, the three flying carriers, to shoot at each other. Let's see. Ava says, I love my disco ball missiles. 1,000 kilogram of antimatter used as a blinder, not a weapon. Big boom, though. Ugh. The thing is, if you're 1,000 kilograms of antimatter and it's not a weapon, are you sure about that? That's yikes. You might actually make a black hole with that. Or a small supernova. Yeesh. Dustin D says, AI cannot make new babies. Well, if they can build new ships, they sure can. See, SS Demon, I think of some of the weaknesses, and once I shared on Discord, you guys can give some ideas. Well, I'm giving you the best ones I got at the moment. But the thing is, what he's talking about, folks, is called collective wisdom, which is one of the reasons why certain groups, the government, Illuminati, Bilderberg, Big Oil, are afraid of letting certain technologies free, because as much as they spend on R&D on these things, when they let the technology out, it will only be a year or two before people refine the living shit out of it. And what would usually cost tens of thousands of dollars to make will only cost like $500 because they figured it out. Somebody out there is just, their brain is just wired perfect for it. That's what collective wisdom is for. Let's see. Ninja Shark. Every zombie apocalypse show always has cut grass and the zombies eating grass. Oh my God. I never really thought about that, but that's, yeah. Oh crap. So zombies are the new cattle? What? I never noticed that they always do have cut grass. It's been a couple of years and the grass, the foliage isn't overtaking everything. That's actually a good catch, man. I didn't think about that. I don't watch a lot of those anymore because most of them are so fucking woke. Holy shit. Oh my God. It just makes me, how do I put this? It makes everybody go, why? Just why? It doesn't help the story. It's not something that character would actually do. So why, you self-righteous cocksmoke son of a motherfucker? Yeah. Ugh. Just, yeah, but that's one of the little things there. I didn't even notice. Okay. Warsniper says, one ship I like of Star Trek is the Jupiter class carrier I fly it every time on Star Trek Online. You just love your carriers, don't you? You just made me write you into a drone carrier. And carriers are fine as long as you have something that's not designed specifically to take out drones or fighter craft or something like that. Because all in all, there are, in a lot of different science fiction, even Star Wars, there's ships specifically designed to take out fighter craft. And they're very good at it. They're actually so good that anybody in a snub fighter, which is a single seat fighter, just goes, nope, I'm out of here. Let's see. Demon says, I'll post what I have before I leave for work and the changes once I make them. Okay. Dustin D says, where are the toilets in these space combat ships? I'm guessing in the rear. Anyway, that's a good thing. That's actually one of the few things that Star Wars The Mandalorian got right. When you actually break down the original ship he was in, it actually had a latrine, a bathroom, a place the dude could take a shit. Almost none of these other ships do. Now, I will say this, that the Treks actually do touch on this, where it's since they're supposed to be exploration craft, they have their own room, which means every single one has their own head, their own latrine, their own whatever potty you want to call it. So they do actually touch on that. The majority of times, you're right. They screw this up. They there's no place, and they just think everyone's gonna hold it. There's only one species I've ever seen that can hold it, and that's the ones on the Orville who turned out to be total douchebags. Let's see. Dustin D says 1,000 kilograms of antimatter would totally destroy a sector, if not a quadrant. Yeah, that's a rather big boom, especially since every time it touches any type of matter, there's going to be a cumulative effect and is going to ripple out. That's just, I don't know why they screw with that stuff. It is just scary. Ernest says Hummus makes a shield that absorbs energy from energy hits and then uses it to power the ship's weapons, called a battle shield, which is a smart idea. I've seen that in many science fiction. Actually, even a game called Supreme Commander, there's one faction that when you set up a shield around your base, if it's struck even by kinetic weapons, it will give you more energy. And you can transfer that energy into mass to use, which helps your economy. So the more they shoot at you, as long as your shields hold, which is why I layer the shit out of them, then you have a lot of money. Okay, that almost spilled on me. Ava Clark says, no, it's enough to harm a star, but beyond that, it's stretching its limits. Again, there's going to be an accumulative effect because antimatter explodes again when it touches any regular matter. Now, if you're talking about having it explode because you're going to release the protective energy barrier and it's going to suddenly hit a piece of just regular matter, it can only do that when antimatter touches the same equivalent of antimatter. So if it bursts out, it's going to be a huge explosion no matter what. So if you're talking 1,000 kilograms of antimatter and you're launching that with 1,000 kilograms of actual matter, okay, the secondary effects secondary explosions are going to be minimized. But you're still going to get one hell of a bang. As far as not enough to harm a star, you also have to put into how close to a star it is. If you're talking all the way out to Uranus, then probably not, depending on how many planets it hits on the way in and how much was there when it started. Alan says, use a neutron star at a point. Think a gram of a quantity of as a mountain as a hint. Yeah, as compact as that is, you ain't kidding. The problem is get any pieces off. Oh yeah, let me chisel some of that off there, right there. Yeah, your chisel will turn into a pile of putty before you even take a small iota. Doesn't see particular exploding antimatter. Okay. Lena says, you mean military private contractors? If you use triangular UAPs or tactics, then it's probably human made. Yeah. Oh, Tic Tacs. Sorry, I read that wrong. Yeah, that's actually slowly coming out. That was our stuff. And the thing is, if you look at the way the stealth bomber is as a giant triangle, then yeah, it makes perfect sense. Okay, Erica, that was funny. She says, about the zombie grass cutting, people still fear the HOA fines. Oh, man. When I moved into an area, I always checked to see if there was an HOA, because if there was, I just went, nope, 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 won't do it. Ava says, one counter to the drone swarm is shrapnel rounds in sheer amount of fragments would shred the drones faster than they can react, let alone detect the fragments. Depending on how close the explosion is, you are 100% correct. And also depending on the level of technology as far as AI in the drones. If there's something that can detect within basically a microsecond, then unless that explosion is right next to them, it ain't gonna do shit. But if they're a little slower, there you go. A few factors in there, but you are correct. It would do that. And good old fashioned flack is what that is. Demon says, I hate HOAs. I will never live in one. And I mean never. Dozens, he said, even the Millennium Falcon had a can to poop in. Did it have a window to throw it out of? Yeah, Eric is saying, yeah, no, never with the HOA. Screw those guys. I've seen too many horror stories. Yeah, unfortunately, a few guys I know got caught up in that crap. And it was actually kind of funny when I became the representative for the housing. And I show up and they're like, you don't have the authority. You see this piece of paper with a contract on it with your signature on it? I have my friendly neighborhood judge advocate general right here. He's looked over it and he's pointed out several different flaws. If you want to keep talking, I'm going to go over here to my friend who is a constable on patrol, a cop, and he's going to arrest you for the multiple felonies you're doing right now. So, how do you want to play this? And I'm at that point, I still remember saying, and I was a little more cocky than that, but standing right next to me was a officer. And the moment she stepped forward and said, you can't do anything, she reared her hand back and he just looked at the cop, says, okay, arrest her. I was like, oh, I didn't think it would escalate that far. I thought she'd back off. I was wrong. Okay. But yeah, it's just the standard too big for their britches. And as I said in the beginning, elegance and stupidity in one complete package. How efficient of you. Ava says, everyone's scared of antimatter giggles. Okay, 200 millimeter diameter railgun firing smart munitions. Actually, I've heard about that. That's horrifying. Okay, Diamond D says, if you could live further south in winter time, where would you want to live for the winter months? Now, I'm a bit of a snowbird myself. I ski and snowboard, so I really wouldn't. If I did want to go south, I'd probably go. That's a tough question. I don't want to be in the swamp. Texas would be okay. Oklahoma would be okay. Probably wouldn't be in Arizona or New Mexico because I'm not a fan of the desert. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, I'm done. But I mean, how far south are you talking about? Because I'm in the Northeast. I mean, if I go any farther south, I'm going to start breaking the Mason-Dixon line here. So that'd be a hard one to answer, honestly. That'd be pretty hard. Okay, Warsner says, maybe a carrier that carries cruisers, destroyers, or battleships on it and the ships that get carried by it can fire their cannons like Alien. Is just a ship carrying ships. Humans, are you sure about this? Any ship that does that, War Sniper, is not a carrier. That is a dreadnought. By definition, that is a dreadnought. That is not a carrier. A carrier is specifically designed to carry a multitude of smaller ships, mainly not FTL capable ships. If they're going inside and you're talking full battleships, full destroyers, you're talking about a mobile battle station, which is a dreadnought, or if it's sized up enough, it is considered a Titan class. Anything roughly the size, even just diameter wing, you look at the Star Wars wingspan ship there. If it's as big as our moon, it is officially considered a Titan class warship. So yeah, that would not be considered a carrier. And also anything like that would be very Well, I shouldn't say very, but it would be pretty heavily armed. Would it have, planet killing weapons on it? Probably not. Most things there for to keep any type of quick attack from busting through. But yeah, that's a dreadnought. Anything that's a basically mobile space station designed to not ferry ships, but to repair them. Let's see. Ava, did your parents not let you play with sparklers? What? I must have missed something there. Demon, just put Discord in email subject. Yeah, okay. Demon says, I think I'm going to start posting this in random videos. Sin posts on our Discord can grow. Okay. Hey, that'd be cool. You put you put in my hold on, shit. Sorry. My stuff just jumped here. Let me see if I can even get in there while we're doing this. Hopefully I didn't lose you guys. And okay. Shit, I don't see it. Okay. You post it in the Gmail, right? Hope you did. Yeah, that's the one I sent you guys, was the Gmail account. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, fixing a few things here. Okay, I didn't see it in the email yet. I don't know why. It's not there. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't see it. Anyway, I will look later. It might be that it's waiting for the stream to stop before I can put it in there. I don't know. This computer is weird. Let's see. Where was I? Lena says, can't wait for humans to start intimidate aliens with mobile assault garages. It would be funny. That would be funny, especially when it's just one big ship. We can handle one big ship, and all of a sudden, like these battleships start taking off from like the dorsal and ventral side at the same time. Then it'd be like, oh shit. Okay. Let's see. Oh, hold on here. Alan says, Jag could not do civilian law. That's true. They weren't there as a civilian attorney. They were there as a point of fact, to let them know that we've had the lawyers look over the contract. They can't officially, do any of what the lawyers do on the civilian side. However, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes back and forth. And not to mention, they can read lawyer language a whole lot better than I can. And besides, that's why we had a cop there. Cop put that bitch in handcuffs and drag her ass away. Alan says, totally different style of law base. Yes, you're right. It is. Ava says, this Alan needs a nap. I'll get that email soon. See you, everybody. See you, Ava. Bye, Ava. Everybody saying bye. Cool. Demon says, technically my ships are all dreadnoughts. They are 180 kilometers long. So they would be carrier dreadnoughts. Yeah. If they're specifically designed, however, to store ships for that, they wouldn't officially be carriers. They'd still be dreadnoughts, but they wouldn't be officially carriers, because that's there specifically to carry certain in particular ships for combat. Usually non-FTL capable, like I said. See. Doesn't he says Babylon 5 is a Titan class space station. Okay, Titan class only goes to mobile ships. Space stations do not have that classification. Because in all essence, almost every single sci-fi station is Titan class if you want to go buy that. But I mean, you did make a good point that the damn thing's pretty damn long. Okay. Chris says, almost back to the office, so I got to go. Went back and watched the beginning, and I hate hearing that. Yeah, it was bad stuff. There have been too many. You're not wrong about it. It's easy. Yeah, fuck HOAs. Yeah, take it easy too, Chris. Anybody who's dealing with that stuff, okay, there's a guy online, Terrence Pop. He deals with that sort of thing. He's funny. I listen to him all the time. It's great. And he can really help people out a whole lot better than I can. Let's see. Leon says, I'm trying to understand what the definition of space supercarrier is. Each of them carries a large quantities of fighter and support drones, and they're also armed like a battle star. Well, that's the thing. The battle star was a multi-role ship. It had the big guns like a battleship, but it had the flight pods so it could double as a carrier. It wasn't a specific type of ship. However, the fact that they used it almost primarily as a carrier means that it was a carrier. It just had bigger guns than a carrier should have. As far as super carrier goes, you can let your imagination go on that one. I mean, is super carrier really doesn't. Yeah, everybody likes to put super on there. It really doesn't have much of a definition. Excuse me, guys. That actually came apart. Demon says, I was telling people in the email to email me so you don't get overrun with more work than you already have. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. So go to Discord, and there you'll find it by inviting friends to the Discord. Oh, while I'm doing this, Discord won't open. I've tried. It will almost what I'm seeing on the screen and the chat box will actually start flickering. So I'm not going to have another drop stream. That was crazy. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's something in the software. It's not hardware. Okay, Demon, can you help him get full link so he can, okay, description for me. Everybody's saying, see, Ava. Sin, we need to do just our address in the mail. Your address, and if you don't want to give your full name, you can put Mr. or Mrs. and give me at least the last letter. So I have something. If you want to stay anonymous, the reason for that, the Mr. or Mrs. along with the first letter of your last name, is that's a postage thing. I can't, if I just put the address, a lot of times it'll get stopped because they'll be like, wait a minute, are you just sending this randomly to someone? Because you need a permit for that sort of crap. It doesn't work that way. But yeah, which is kind of weird. I'm looking in here. Yeah, I don't see a lot of emails coming into my Gmail account, which is kind of weird because I cut and paste it right off of here. I'll do it again. And here's the email again, dropping it in there. And just to make sure you guys have it, because for some reason it's you guys, I know you're sending me emails. It's not showing up in my email box, which is actually freaking me out a little bit. Let's see. Leon says, usually during a zombie apocalypse, someone will fire a nuke. Yeah. Well, at least in the shows, during a zombie apocalypse, what they really do, if they really wanted to cleanse the place, is all the super rich would get underground and then they irradiate the damn planet, or they get underground, toast a couple major cities, and then just wait 6 months for the zombies to die off. Let's see. What do you think of the game Star Citizen? Have not played it. War Sniper says, Alan wanted you to join. Okay, folks, we have run down through the chats. And I do appreciate our supporters here, Erica, Ava, and Demon. You guys have really helped me out. Be prepared for your shout outs, hopefully sometime this week. I still have one from last week, but again, I got caught up in a whole bunch of crap, which I didn't all enjoy. And it is what it is. So, final safety brief for everybody before I go. Again, the t-shirts are in. The email is in the chat box and in the description down there, down by my, never mind. And you guys send me your name, your address. You can shorten name by all means. If you just want initials, that's fine. I need your address and the size of what you is. Remember, I only got medium, large, and extra large. That's it. So aside from that, just make sure you guys, be careful out there. Remember that a lot of critters are having babies, which means if you're going down the back roads and you see one of these critters, doesn't matter if it's on 4 legs, 2 legs, feathers, or fur. If you see one, there's usually more. So slow the hell down before you end up repainting the front of your car or end up running it into a tree because something big just went through your windshield. I'd rather see you all here next week on Syntex Live. And aside from that, thank you all for joining me. This is Syntex ejecting.